Well, it's another piggy day on along the piggy way. Well, folks, it's Tuesday morning. Got to get this done. It's almost afternoon. Well, I think it is afternoon. But anyway, it's morning to me. Had a good storm last night. Power went out. Well, it went out. It was off a while. Eventually, after a while, it flicked on for a couple of seconds and flicked back off. Short while later, it flicked on again for a few seconds. 3 or 4 times. Like a light switch being turned on and off. Well, that told me they was playing with it. And it'd be all night before it come back on. It was hot. I got up, it was about 9:30. Her clock was showing 3 something. I thought, okay, about 6:30, power came back on. Well, yep, I called it. It was out all night. But when they flicked it that 3 or 4 times, that told me right there, they're playing with it. And whatever it is they're doing, they're just him-hawing around, getting the bucks for being out there. You know, you don't want to make it done in a couple of hours and only get a couple of hours worth of that extra pay, right? Well, no telling how many people are sitting there in the heat or laying there trying to get some sleep. Fortunately, haven't been in the Marines, had to sleep out in the desert. I managed. But it's all right. Everything comes back around sooner or later. Well, we're supposed to get the car back today. They took it up there, checked it all out. And it's a good thing all of it got checked out, but here's the thing. I called the compressor. No, it's probably 1 or 2 switches. Okay. Well, about 2:30 yesterday, we got a call. Well, it's the compressor. Okay. So I figured it was that because it's kind of simple. It worked. Then one day it didn't work. The next day it did work. Worked for a while. Some days it would work better than others. Some days it worked, but didn't seem like it was doing all that well. And then it didn't work again. Well, folks, if it had been anything electronic or electrical, when it went out, it'd have been out. That'd have been the end of the story right there. If the switch goes bad, or a sensor goes bad, I can't say that always. That O2 sensor went back to working on that thing, but I figure I know why that did that. But all that other stuff is pretty well enclosed in plastic casings and whatnot. So anything go wrong with it, be on the inside of that. And once it pops, it's done. So if it had been anything electronic or electrical, it just would have been done. It never would have come back on again. Never would have cooled off. That leaves something mechanical. The only 2 things that would be is the belt or the compressor. Everything else was running fine. The belt was still on there. Wouldn't have been going nowhere if it had been the belt. Or the compressor was bad. So that left us the compressor. That got confirmed for me yesterday. So they're going to get that and get it put on. Now, the problem with being right The compressor costs a lot more than some sensors. Plus you have to replace all the sensors and switches going to it. But and them checking it out, ain't no guarantee that the electrical parts to it, electronics, will stay good for a while. They might start going bad. You never know. Get a better compressor, it might feed back on the electronics, and anything that's wrong with the electronics might start going bad. So I won't be shocked if that starts happening. It's kind of funny. Got a call this morning. Their computer stopped working. And before it did, told them it was low battery. They didn't understand battery. Well, a lot of times in older computers, I don't know if they still do it or not. I doubt it. Them older computers would have a button battery inside of there on the motherboard. That's the only thing I can think of it could be. Well, all right, I'll get somebody to look into it. I'm like, how old is that thing? Oh, it's pretty old. Well, I ain't getting no new computer if it's just a battery. I just replaced the battery. Okay. What's not being understood, though, is you're running a really old computer. Now, it has been worked on and upgraded a little bit about 5 or 6 years ago. And what's not being understood is with the way the internet grows and as much information is coming into that computer, that's like trying to pour the amount of gas for a big diesel truck into a little 1-barrel 4-cylinder and expecting it to run right. It can't handle all the information. So it's going to run slower and do other problems. It's going to be really hard on the machinery and the electronics. They're going to heat it up more. So, just can't be helped. Be kind of like taking a small car, taking that small engine out of it, and putting a really big engine in it, and expecting it to still run on the same amount of gas and still handle the same way. Ain't gonna happen. That might be in reverse. Anyway, most of you understand enough about all this stuff. Y'all get what I'm saying. Got a kitty walk now. So anyway, now the question is, will we get the car back today? Or will they go and resolve their computer problems first, then get back to the car? Which it don't matter. We've got our groceries for the month. We ain't got nowhere we have to be for the month other than what we was doing. We can't do that till the car's fixed. So he's left his truck over, it's old Ford. He's left it over there for us to drive if we happen to need it. But it's kind of amusing to me. I'll never be let known, but I'm pretty sure it's chapped his hide that I was right as to what was wrong. I'm not the mechanic, he is. But as I said before, the cost of being right is that compressor costs a whole lot more than a bunch of sensors and whatnot. So it all evens out and checks and balances. It's no big to me one way or the other. I find it amusing how other people react, though. So that's pretty much what we got going on. She got to do her video here a little while for her What's Up Wednesday. I'm sore as all get out from where I vacuumed that car out, but it had to be done. Talking about it, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's like that." And I told her, I said, "Well, ain't no big deal. I knew what was going to be the consequence of doing what I had to do. So you live with it. You go on. Do what you got to do. Endure what's going to come because of it. And just go on. That's how it's done." So, there's going to be pain involved later on. But it's got to be done. Ain't nobody else going to do it. You do it. Suffer through it. Endure it. Say, well, that happened, but we got it done. So we shall see. Will it be today that we get the car back, or will it be Wednesday or Thursday because of their setback? See how I made a rhyme? Yeah, I know I'm corny. Mower people got the mower signs out. I've not seen or heard hide or hair of them yet. Of course, most of it through here gets taken care of by the property owners. They take care of the street front, road front, keep it mowed down for the most part, except for that little section over there to the left of the screen there. A little bit of it on this side goes up a little ways, but most of the rest of it pretty well took care of by the landowners. And so them mower boys pretty much just have to ride through here for the most part. There ain't much for them to do. Well, I've been on here a little while. I've got it done. So, Piggy loves you. See you next time.